We're going to look at a market update for the Greater Lafayette area here in April of 2026. We do this about once a month, and it's time for our monthly update because people always ask me, how's the market? And what you really mean by that is, how's the value of my house? And the answer is always, it depends. But no, that's not really the answer. The answer is the Greater Lafayette area market is doing really well. And we're going to begin with inventory. And this is the average daily inventory by month across all of Tippecanoe County. And you will see here that we're looking at a 5-year look back. And you can just follow this line for yourself and see ups and downs. Those ups and downs were in a straight line, if you will, in a range for a while here. And we get over here to the right-hand side of the graph. In March of 2026, it was 261. The peak, and this is the number of homes that are for sale right now. At the peak, it was in October of 2025, there were 395 on the trend, and that's average daily inventory. So that's averaging across an entire month. It's not a snapshot of any given day, but you can see that the inventory trend is there are more homes for sale now than there have been in any time in basically the previous 5 years. From about March, the upturn started at about April of 2025, so about a year ago till now, the trend has been up and up, and you can see that it actually fell a little bit here in the winter, but that's, if you've watched the show at all, real estate is a seasonal thing. I always talk about the fact that it's tied to the weather. The colder it gets outside, the less homes are sold. People don't like moving in the winter. And that's what's going on here. So more homes for sale than there have been over the last 5 years. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? That's a good thing. That means that buyers have more choice. That means that when you go look at a home, there might be another home or two or three that might fit your criteria that you can go look at the same time. Now, not always, but when we were down here in the doldrums of these less than 100 to 150, that's the kind of thing where a home would go on the market and you'd have 20 showings in the first day, and then you'd have highest and best in no time at all. Not super healthy. And then the next piece of data that we'll look at is new listings. This is how many new homes enter the market. And in March of 2026, it was 218. And again, you can see that it's up and down seasonally, and the bottom of the market is always in the winter. December, it's always December. And some of these statistics, it might be October, November, December, January, maybe February. In new listings, it's always December. People are going to holiday parties. People are doing Christmas. People are staying inside away from the cold. But we'll see that new listings are at 218, and we're right on trend. New listings in the last 5 years, their peaks were in 2021 and 2022, and then it had been anemic in 23, 24, and started to grow again finally in 25. And then we had the normal fall off that we would expect to see in the winter, and we are growing again. And I expect that peak to at least hit what it hit in 2025 here in 2026, of being around 300 new listings in the month. Now, will it be slightly more? Will it be slightly less? It remains to be seen. I don't think it's going to be statistically significant more or less. I think it's probably going to be about the same. You can see here that the 5-year change is only 1%, but right now it's an 8% year over year gains. 293, 1% being about 3 homes, so that'd be about 24 homes. If we did 8% more in May of this year, we'd be talking about, 317 homes. Even if we did 8% more, we're not going to be a whopping more, but new listings are healthy. They're coming on the market. We're not sitting down in the doldrums, and we're certainly not retreating. Now, the next statistic we're going to look at is closed sales. This is the complete sale offered on the home, got through due diligence, did all the inspections, did all the financing, did all the things, and we got to the closing table, signed the papers, and now the home is yours. And in March of 26, it was 153 closed sales. Now, That's still historically a rather anemic level. If we look back to 21 was an abnormal year. It was pretty high. It was almost 300, 283, and then it came back down. Are we going to see more going forward into this year? We're going to see more than we are at right now. Will we see more than last year? Right now, we're at a 16% year over year change for March. I anticipate that to continue that way. Our bottom was slightly lower. In 26, our bottom was 86. It was 95. We're talking about a handful of sales. Yes, it is a large percentage when you're talking about anything less than 100, when you're talking about moving 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 places. But I think that the closed sales is showing us that the local market here in Tippecanoe County and Lafayette and West Lafayette and all of Tippecanoe County is healthy. Days on market, this is the amount of days it takes to sell a home from the time that you put the for sale sign in your front yard till you have an accepted offer. I like talking about this one a lot. It had, over the last few years, been extremely low. And if you look here, you'll see on the graph for most of the last few years, it's been 5 or less for a good bit of the year, and no more than about 10 for the rest of the year. We had a pretty big spike in the fall. Starting in the summer, we got to 19, and then in October, we got to 29, and all the way up to 45 days in January. Now, that might seem like an eternity. That's about 6.5 weeks. But historically, that's much more of a normal number. And I'm talking about 10, 15, 20, 30 years when I say historically. Now, if you'll see here, in February, it fell back to 12. And in March, it was 9 days. So a week and 2 days on average. And this is the median for a house to sell. But there are still homes for sale here. There are more homes for sale than there have been. So the home sale speed is picking up, but it means that more homes are coming on the market. Again, just a sign of a healthy market, I think. Months of inventory. This one is a calculation on if we sold everything that's currently on the market at the rate that's currently selling, how long would that take? And historically, we've wanted that average to be north of 3, and you'll see that we finally kissed 3 around the end of the year, beginning of the year, but we have come back down to 2. I think, again, just signs of a healthy market. Hey, Geoff, when are prices going to go down? When's the market going to retreat? When should I buy? The answer to all that is you should buy when you need to, because the market's going to do what the market's going to do. That's just always been the case. And then the final number that we'll look at is median sales price. And the median sales price in March was $303,000. Now, it's down 6% year over year, but check it out. It is up 40% over 5 years. And if you look at the line, you'll see it goes up and down, but the up and down move. So it's stair stepping up, and people look at me and go, oh my gosh, how can I afford a home? They're just so expensive. When are they going to go back to real price levels? And the fact is that they're not. Materials costs are up. Labor costs are up. People like having value in their home. These prices over the last few years seem to be sustainable, and there's no sign in the market that they're going to retreat. Now, you start talking about things like interest rates and international and national politics, and do they affect the real estate market? Do they affect prices? Do they affect the market, time on market, how hard or easy it is to sell your home? 100%. But the thing that drives your home sales even more is how our local market is doing. And if you live here in the Greater Lafayette area, or you're thinking about coming to the Greater Lafayette area, you must know that our local economy is thriving. Whatever you think about SK Hynix, positive or negative, them coming to the area is a sign of the strength of our economy and the development of business here in our area. GE Aviation, Rolls-Royce Aviation, Saab Aviation, listing lots of aviation here, and aluminum, and then the old line manufacturers that are also here. We have a strong high-tech manufacturing base. We have a strong old line manufacturing base. We have Subaru building cars and building hybrids here in the Lafayette area. We have new development coming as far as business and jobs. We have a few thousand homes that are finally starting to break ground here, and residential market's going to start to keep up with that. So the conclusion on all of this data is that right now, in April of 2026, the local real estate market here in the Greater Lafayette area, and that's Lafayette and West Lafayette, Tippecanoe County, and indeed all the surrounding counties, Benton and White and Fountain and all of the surrounding counties, are healthy and growing and doing well. So if you need to move, you need to move. If you've outgrown your home, if your kids have moved out and you need to downsize, if you're coming to the area because of a job, if you need to sell because you've gotten a job somewhere else, the answer is the time is now. And I would love to be, and you know what? I wouldn't love to be. I am your local Lafayette real estate resource of choice. Contact me at all of the information below, or simply go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube, fill out that form, and let me know how I can be your Lafayette local real estate resource of choice. And also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It helps us a lot here on the channel, helps us bring content to you and to everybody out there who wants to know and indeed needs to know about the Greater Lafayette area.